Everyone was emotional and vulnerable and, like, touched by the themes that everyone else was touching on around us, that, like, the group, just like any trip, any, like, beautiful, majestical experience, you bond with that group in a way that we'd never be able to communicate that on the podcast. Like, what we felt, what we went through, what we shared, like...
Yeah, words fall flat, I think.
Yeah, and you can't. And I kind of... There's a part of me that... Let's talk about the touchdown, the grounding that has been hard, that you can share your side of this in whatever capacity you feel is appropriate. When I got back, that was hard. It was really hard to just be like, yeah, I'm jet lagged and, like, whatever, I'm about to catch up on sleep. But there's this weird grounding reality of having the most beautiful, serene, life-changing, creative experience. Now I'm back home.
Yeah.
Now I'm back home where all my stresses are, where, like, all my worries are. I'm back in touch with social media. And I love, even though I was sharing to social media because we had Wi-Fi out there, I wasn't scrolling social media. And I find myself when I get in those, like, and I'm sorry if I'm dominating this part of the conversation,
no,
that, like,
good.
I get in these doom scroll moments where I'm no longer reading the things on my screen. I'm thinking of all the cool things I did and how I'll never get to do them again.
Yeah.
And that's not correct.
Right.
I will have amazing, fantastic experiences. But the grounding when you come back home from something like that, it's just a serotonin crash.
It's
that
really
I wonder
tough.
how you handled in some capacity when you got back.
Yeah, no, it was a rocky landing for me too. And you've been very respectful of this, and I'm not going to share too much. But there was the day before I left for valediction, just some news that I got that fundamentally just changed my reality. And that was really tough. So coming back, it was weird because I was not coming back to the same place I left,
I also want to say, I'm sorry to do this.
No, it's for sure. You're good.
You texted the group before we all met up, too.
I texted all of you guys, I think, that morning.
To forewarn.
Yeah.
If you are...
a little... I don't know, not grounded.
Something along the lines of, like,
weedy.
If I'm crying, then I'm very sensitive. Here's why. It's all right. I'll handle it. Here's why.
Yeah.
And then there was a group effort behind the scenes to then be, how much do we talk to Emma about this?
Yeah.
You know?
And then it ended up being, we talked about it.
We talked about it.
Which was good. And I think...
it was your chance to talk about it.
For sure. Yeah. Not that,
It's okay.
Yeah. I did. That was good. And that was a very good thing. And I think something that, a couple of things that were really good about that. One, I felt so held and cared for through that entire weekend that I don't feel like it touched that experience for me. Like this, valediction gets to live in its own sacred little space. Oh man. And I don't have to reframe it, like, through the lens of having, learned this thing later. Like, it just got to exist as it was with the support of people I was with. And it happened in spite of it all. And I think that's huge. And so, also, I realize I'm vague booking right now, which is really obnoxious. But, it just, all that to say, the landing was a little rocky coming back because it felt like, I was leaving one reality and coming back to one that was completely different. While... also having been out doing something that felt like it was its own separate reality. And so it's just, that's a little destabilizing. And so...
I don't want to share more than you're comfortable sharing. All of us, regardless of the weight of our experiences, the world that we were coming to back home, all of us cried. It was just a cry. So it was like, well, he's crying, I can cry. They're crying, we're all crying. It's fine, we can cry. You didn't until
the Phoenix Airport bathroom? Yeah. I'm like, Oh God, I do this. This is such a pattern for me in immersive. Especially, you know, I'll go out, I'll do experiences that mean a lot to me, and I have a really tough time. It's not that I'm not present. I just think it doesn't quite hit until I'm out of that space. But yeah, I had a layover in Phoenix, and I'm like, I should hit the restroom before I hop on this plane for 4 hours. And I'm sitting in the bathroom, and I'm like just like sobbing, which is so.
The big cry hits you. It doesn't matter if you want it to or not.
Yeah, and then I got on the plane and I had to sit next to this woman, and I'm just like, just like facing the window, trying to like dab at my eyes, and it was in equal parts, I think, just like the weight of like what we had just done, and who I was, you know, who I had the opportunity to share that with, both with guests and with you guys, in addition to just, you know, all the other life bullshit that was going on. Yeah, so. And then I, you know, fell asleep and woke up to turbulence and was like, oh, what's going on? But, you know.
Tears in your eyes, like, I'm dying!
Yeah.